What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Midweek Chat with Jasmine. I'm your host, Jasmine Bryant, brand visibility coach, helping women coaches, speakers, and small business owners over 40 to just show up, be who they are, and make more money in the process. So I'm super excited to have you guys here today. And if you're watching live, please put in the chat, hi and where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, do the same thing. Today, we're talking with Susan Shatzer. She is an acclaimed energetic empowerment expert. She's dedicated more than 2 decades to empowering individuals to overcome personal and professional challenges. I love her mission, which is to guide individuals in breaking free from trauma and limitation, unlocking a life of freedom and unlimited potential. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you so much. This is going to be so much fun. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Me too. Me too. And I love talking with people who can help us to break free from all of the crap that's holding us back from being the amazing people that we're meant to be. So before I get into all of that, because I'll just start jumping in and just, going for it. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Cool. So, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of your mission and your message that you're bringing forth for all of humanity. Because I am so grateful for you for the invitation to be a part of this.
Oh,
Yeah. So, like my path was decided before I got here.
oh yeah?
Fact, yeah. So my mom's water broke on August 22nd, and I wasn't born until September 8th.
What?
I know. I know. So, that was in 1968. I'm 56. I'll just throw it out there.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't until the past 10 years or so that my angelic team tapped me on the shoulder and said, do the math on that. So growing up, Jasmine, it's been the running joke in the whole family. Oh, if anyone's going to be late, it's going to be Susan. She was late to her birth.
Oh my gosh.
So I created Susan time my whole life. Everyone just thought it was comical. So they tapped me on the shoulder. I got my calendar out. That's 18 days. 18 days. So I went to my dad. Dad, oh, did you know that was 18 days? He's like, no. I'm like, how did you not know that was 18 days? He goes, we didn't track that back then. Anyway, to make a long story short, he took my mom. They said, take her on a bumpy road every day. When you get home from work, we'll get that baby out. I'm thinking, yeah, that didn't work. So I wanted to know, like, where I was, like, what was I doing in there for 18 days? Like that's over half a month. And, I'm picturing myself just inverted, head down, like, am I coming? Am I going? And all of a sudden, this lucid dream screen drops down, Jasmine, and like time stops. I can see every particle in the room, and I'm in heaven with God, and I'm having it out with Him.
Wow.
I can hear myself saying things like, yeah, I know the rules up here, and we get to choose if we go. And you know what? The lifetime, I'm looking at it right now. God, I can see it, Lord. I'm like, this lifetime is filled with disease, illness, heartache, betrayal, cheating. Like, no, no, no. I'm tapping out. There's got to be somebody else more qualified. He just very calmly said, Susan, it has to be you. And I was like, why? Like the whole tantrum. Why? Why does it have to be me? And he said, look here. And he opens his arms, and it's like as if he had taken a vial of glitter, like silver glitter, and threw it up in the air, and it was all twinkling down in between his arms. And I was like, ooh, what's that? It's like, those are all the souls waiting for you to get to Earth.
Wow.
So you can help them on their soul's evolution, which is why they incarnate. I was like, oh. He says, and because I was like, look, I'll wait 100 years. It'll be nicer on the planet. The energy will be different. He's like, so you can't wait. I was like, okay, I'll go. So I came and I'm here. So when I got here, Jasmine, like I didn't have the veil, so I could see the unseen, hear the unheard, and knew the unknown. And it was like that my whole life, but I was also brought up Catholic. So that was very sacrilegious. And I was going to hell immediately. And there was like no get out of jail free card with that at all. So had to like lock it down, cage it, slide it under the carpet, put it in the closet for later. And as I grew up and left Massachusetts, landed in Florida, was a Walt Disney World dancer, school teacher, Mary Kay sales director, I just started developing these abilities that, I had no idea I had.
Mhm.
It was like this. I was like, well, I kind of knew things about people and with people, and they would say, oh, this is happening. I'm like, yeah, that's not really what it is. I'm like, so what if it's this? And they're like, oh yeah, that could be it too. You're right. That's right. And it just developed from there to do what I do now. So now, like you're showing me your lifeline right here, like this. And so I
Mhm.
can see all the way back when a soul first chose to do or be anything, moving forward to the present, and then what's projected into the future as well for life.
Wow.
And yep, your ancestors are shown to me this way. So I can go back 15 to 20 generations and they show me what they've passed down to you. And so I have 3 teams I work with, and you have 3 teams. So we have angelic teams, galactic teams, and indigenous tribe teams. And so
Mhm.
we go in together into your subconscious, because that's scientists have proven that your subconscious creates your reality. And we pull out the unconsciousness. And with that, your whole life, your whole reality changes
Wow.
instantly, dramatically, radically. Yeah. And permanently. I just got a text back from a gentleman in Spain, and he said, I asked that question this morning. So the question I had him ask was, what grand and glorious adventure will I have today?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden, he's like, I look down at my phone and I have a message. And then I get a call from another friend. So he's like having lunch in this car, and these people that are detailing this car like are doing it special. They're staying late for him to get it done, for him to be able to have it, to be able to go to this event where he's going to be in a movie filmed. I mean, this is a classic, red Corvette kind of thing. Yeah. And so he's going
Mhm.
to be driving in, he's going to be in the movie. And then he's like got these dance dates for like the next 2 nights, Thursday and Friday or something. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he was like, I was going to stop. He says, you were telling me everything I already knew. I says, yeah, you just hadn't activated it. He said,
Wow.
so it's when our teams go in and remove the stuff that's blocking it that everything should. He goes, I had no idea this would be the outcome of working with you. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of magical, isn't it?
Sounds like it. Wow. Okay. I love all of that. I mean, and your story is incredible.
Thank
I mean, holy cow. I feel bad for your mom though. 18 days. Come on.
I know. And when I've spoken with like surgeons and like, OBGs, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't be here, and neither should your mom. And I was like, well, oh, thank you, body. I'm like, you're a miracle.
Yeah.
But I
Good
did.
gracious.
So that's when I tell people, I got to tell you, Justin. So I'm like, yeah, I went through the disease, illness, heartache, betrayal. Like I've done all of that in this lifetime just for you. So we're working together.
Wow. That is super deep, Susan. That is deep. Um, so we're talking about limitless potential and your goddess energy, right? So can you tell us a little bit about what goddess energy means and how can women tap into it so that they can come into their own power in their personal life and their business life?
Yeah. So I love this question. So it's so interesting. It takes us back to when we were 2 and we were
Mhm.
asking the question, why? See, in
Mhm.
the 2-year-olds aren't totally brought into, they're not indoctrinated yet into like our reality.
Yeah.
So we haven't stuffed them yet in the box of form, structure, and significance. Like these are the rules, and this is what we've
Mhm.
always done, and this is what our parents did and the parents before them, kind of a thing. And we're not going to fix anything that's not broke. That whole paradigm programming thing.
Mhm.
So when you're 2, you're like, why? Why can't I wear my princess dress to school? Why can't I wear my Spider-Man
That
boots
was
to
me.
church? I know it was you. I'm in your reality.
I was the queen of why, and I probably still am. But
Yes, because you knew that whatever that was for you would contribute greater than what your parents were asking. And it's like the 2-year-olds know that there's something else available that their parents are not acknowledging. Like they're not asking for, they're not acknowledging. And the 2-year-olds know it. So then we tell them, oh, because we're parents, we're the adult, I'm the mom, whatever, stop asking questions, just stand up and fly right kind of a thing.
do
But
as I say.
so, yeah, so goddesses be the energy of fun, be the energy of why, be the energy of like truth. What's right about this? Because so much is like polarity, what's right and wrong and good and bad. What if everything was just interesting or cool? And then you asked another question to engage the consciousness. So every molecule, Jasmine, has consciousness. So every molecule in our body, every molecule in our environment, every molecule in all of our technology has consciousness. And it will and does talk and speak with us and communicate. And it is here to serve us and for us to be in service with it. Like together we change the world.
And so how do we kind of learn to listen to that? Like how do we listen to that energy? How do we channel it and focus on it?
Yeah. So in the beginning, when people are first getting reconnected back to their body, one of the recommendations is to get a pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
And then in fact, I was asked to create a gift for the Oscars this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent a pendulum with a QR code on how to use the pendulum to the Academy Awards.
Oh, nice.
So it was so exciting. So now there's like movie stars and professional athletes and people that I'm working with. And like, I never, ever imagined I would ever be in that, genre of clientele. Like I had no idea that was the direction I was headed in, but they have the same things we have going on, believe it or not. They just have more money.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to make sure that people really focus on that for a second because, I'm all about building your brand by being visible, putting yourself out there in all different forms. And that right there is a key example of how you put yourself out there with your gift for the swag bag at the Oscars. And let me tell you, I've received a few Oscar swag bags and they are freaking awesome. Okay. And so you did that and now like your business has changed in a way because you have more clients, you have a different type of client than you thought. Like you said, you didn't imagine that you were going to have celebrities, working with you. And so you guys, she put herself out there, she was visible, she did something that she might not normally do, and it worked. So think
Definitely.
about that, guys. Think about that.
Yeah, it was a game changer. It definitely leveled up everything. It
Yeah.
was, confidence for myself also, and then what I was creating. So I was asking, so our education system is like not at all where it should be. Like we could be so much further along educating
Mhm.
our children than we are. And so, being a previous school teacher and having a child that went through all areas, he was in magnet, private, public, charter, he had all the experiences. And as a substitute teacher in all of those areas, I can tell you what's working, what's not working. And there's more not working than working. So I'm dedicated to create a limitless life. And right now it's an institute. It's going to be a holistic education. And we're
Oh,
going to be teaching the things that you should have been taught before kindergarten, first, second, third grade, and then the things that you never learned, like you never had access to, that is totally about who you are as a human being, because you were taught to be a human doing. You were taught to make a choice, make a good decision, figure it out. That's not at all what this reality is about. This reality is about energy, because everything's energy, and like attracts like. So we talk about vibrational frequencies, and the emotional chart, the emotional like intelligence chart, is what we use to kind of gauge where we are and where we'd like to be. And so, knowing that anytime you have anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, or guilt, you are at the level just above death.
Oh, wow.
So, know that at any time you have those, that's where you're functioning. That's how low you are.
Oof.
And then the one just below God's consciousness is gratefulness. And so, the more as women, as goddesses, as leaders, as mothers and family and career, the more we can be grateful for even the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because even the good, the bad, and the ugly, there's still something in there that had you attracted to you, because like attracts like, that then you have the awareness of and you can eliminate. So it no longer serves you.
I love that. And I think that can go a long way too for people who are afraid, because like a lot of my clients, they are afraid to show up. They're afraid to be on camera, they're afraid to put themselves out there. You have like the fear of judgment, the fear of tech, the fear of just a lot of different things that hold them back. And so it sounds like this is something that can help them kind of jump over that hurdle of being held back, because that fear stops you from growing.
Yes. So would you like to know about fear?
Yeah.
So fear is actually fake. Fear is a lie. Fear is
Okay.
not real. Fear is everywhere you're not willing to be aware. And if you're aware, then you have no fear, because you're aware of everything that's happening, what's going on. You're willing to be aware of the outcome of what's going to take place, what's going to transpire, how that can create, which way to choose, this direction or that direction, or I'll choose this or I'll choose that, for instance. And so fear is just something that is a program that you were taught as a kid. It was like, look, that scares me, when your parent
Mhm.
says that to you and you go, oh. So excitement and fear have the same frequency.
Mhm.
See, you're being excited as a kid and you're willing to be aware of everything, until your parents goes, oh, be careful, you may fall, you may get hurt, you may trip, you may fall off your bike, you may fall out of the tree, land on your leg, get hurt. So you misidentify it.
Mhm. No, that is 1,000%. I mean, as you were talking, I was thinking about how my cousin and I, when we were younger, I was the only girl for quite some time, and my cousin, he was about 19 months older than I am, and everything he did, I wanted to do.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah.
Yeah. So he decided we were going to start jumping off of the second floor deck of his parents' house onto the gravel path and see how far we could jump. Okay, let's do it. And so we were doing that over and over and over again until one of his parents, I forget who now, I mean, because it's been like 40 years, but I forget which one, but they said, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. That scares me when you do that. And then it's like, oh, should I be afraid of doing this? Because it was just fun, you know?
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
where we misidentify and misapply fear, being scary, and excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, we probably should not have been jumping off of the second floor of a house, but we were indestructible. Um,
We're Gen X. We're
yeah.
like, the X factor.
Yeah. This is what happens when, you didn't have video games,
Yeah,
back when you go outside and play.
you
That
did.
was our going outside to play.
Yes.
See.
There was plenty of trouble we could get into.
Alright, so, I wanted to ask you about women who are trying to leave their full-time job, their 9 to 5, so they can focus fully on their business, whatever that is. Is there like, can clearing their limiting energies help them kinda move through those hoops a little bit faster?
Absolutely. And there is an absolute way to do that. So in the Bible, it says 10% tithing to the church. to the house of God, to the Lord.
Mhm.
And so we are children of God. And so there is an element where it got miswritten, misinterpreted, kind of a thing by man when it was written. So 10% is actually supposed to go to yourself to honor your working. So if you'd be willing to put 10% into a fund and just allow that to accumulate, and it can't be a savings fund because then you're saving it for a rainy day or saving it for an emergency, and then you have to create an emergency in order to use your savings account. So that doesn't work. And you can't have it as a backup or a rainy day or, like I said, a savings, a case of an emergency kind of a thing. It's just to honor you, it's to honor your work that you do for humanity. Like it's God's way of providing for you. And as that account grows, pretty soon you have more money in the account than you're actually bringing in. And you kind of step back and your whole frequency changes with that. And when it shifts and changes, you can attract in higher vibrational people, places, things, experiences, relationships, and activities. That's just how the universe works. So that is like never fail, is to use that.
I like that. I might have to start doing that. And that's one of the and that goes to I think one of the things that you talk about, which is like aligning yourself with abundance.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that's brilliant. And it's not a rainy day.
Competition is the lie. Competition is what we were taught. You were taught to be the best and be number one and be in the top three and be in the top five and win the spelling bee and be the top one in your division in soccer. I mean, that's what we're still taught to do that.
Mhm.
But it's collaboration. That's the key. Because when two or more people come together, very biblical, more you can you'll receive exactly what you're asking for. And so collaborating with women collaborating together, women collaborating with other women, other companies, is so powerful at the quantum level. Like I was shown by my team that, yeah, you're doing one-on-one work, it's great, they're getting, I know you love it, they're getting great transformations, but if you were to start doing small group, you could magnify the impact that you're making. And that's what I started doing. Unbelievable results for people because they weren't just getting their stuff eliminated. See, the cream rises to the top. So the stuff that's ready to let go, Jasmine, like gets up there. So it starts to
Okay.
show up in your reality like it's in your face kind of stuff.
Nice.
So what's in their face for someone else and somebody else and someone else in the group ends up getting eliminated for you as well, even though it's not your cream at the top.
Hmm.
So more, you actually receive more that gets chunked out and eliminated each time you're together. And that's the quantum effect, quantum level. It's so
Wow.
profound to see it leave. Like just chunks are dropping off of people that they've been carrying, entire trains of baggage cars, of luggage that they've brought in with them, that they passed down from previous generations, that they
Mm.
decided they needed to learn this lifetime. All of that. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a lot of generational trauma. So I'm glad that there's a method where people can really figure out what it is
Yes.
that's there and how to get rid of it. And so I love that.
Yes.
And we're
Absolutely.
out of time, which is, I mean, this has flown by. I put in the chat your gift to the audience. So you guys, Susan is offering a 30-minute no cost consultation. Her link is in the comments. Um, and for Susan, for your audience or anyone who's not already connected with me, there's a link here, the 5 keys to beat camera shyness. And so it's a free guide where it's just 5 steps to help get over that hurdle, lose some of that fear. So,
That's a
so
great slam.
I love your energy so much.
Yeah, this is me all day.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything that you want to say before we end? Like anything I didn't ask you that people really need to know before they stop watching this video?
Yeah, I would say the one word to eliminate from your vocabulary is the word want.
Hmm.
The word want, because Jasmine, just what does the word want mean to you?
Something I don't have that I feel that I need in my life. My wants and my needs are kind of the same thing. Um,
You're so transparent. I love it. Yeah, well, actually, the definition was changed.
hmm,
So in the 20s and 30s, the real definition, the true definition of the word want is lack, less than, and not enough. And so
okay.
when you use the word I want, like, I want a different job, the universe, God, source, here's you saying, I lack a new job. So God is here and source is here, spirit is here to serve you. So it's going to give you more lack of a new job because you are stating that you are in lack of it.
So
So
what should we say instead?
I am and I have, and that's present tense. Because the other thing about want is that it's always in your future because
Hmm.
you can never have it now. You're always wanting it.
I love that. And that is a great place to stop.
So eliminate want.
Okay. All right. I'm going to work on that.
It's a game changer. Game changer.
I'm going to work on
Had
that.
to drop that in all of your realities because that in and of itself will change so much for you.
Nice. Well,
Awesome.
Susan, thank you so much for being here with us. And you guys ask any questions that you might have, put them in the comments, and we'll answer them for you. And I check out Susan's offer. It's very generous, a free 30-minute consultation, and get the word want out of your vocabulary. So now we'll see you guys on Friday for our next live event. And thank you again so much for being here.
You're so welcome. It was my honor. Truly, truly.
Oh, no,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
having
Thank you. This has been phenomenal.
me. Yay!
Yay. Bye, guys.